The diagnostic produces a defensible baseline and a 90-day executable roadmap. For some organizations, that is exactly what they need. They take the roadmap and run it with internal capability or with another implementation partner. The engagement closes. For other organizations, the roadmap surfaces work that internal capability cannot deliver alone. The findings touch dimensions where the team lacks the depth, the bandwidth, or the experience to execute against the timeline the strategy requires. A transformation partnership is built for that situation. It is a fixed price, fixed scope engagement that runs 6 to 12 months with embedded specialists working alongside the client team to execute the roadmap the diagnostic produced. The partnership is not the diagnostic extended. It is a different shape of engagement with different deliverables, different working patterns, and a different commitment from both sides. The partnership has 3 operating principles that shape how the work runs. The first principle is co-delivery. Every initiative on the 90-day roadmap is co-delivered. Specialists from the consulting team and members of the client team work the same problems in the same rooms against the same evidence. There is no black box where the consultant disappears for a week and returns with a deliverable. The client sees the work happen and participates in producing it. This is what makes capability transfer real rather than aspirational. The second principle is match depth. Specialists are matched to the specific capability gaps the audit phase confirmed. If the engagement needs advanced data analytics depth, a specialist in that domain joins the team. If it needs cybersecurity depth, a different specialist. The partnership does not staff with generalists. It staffs with people whose capability matches the evidence. The third principle is sequenced execution. The 90-day roadmap unfolds in 3 layers: quick wins that build momentum in the first 30 days, structural changes that address root causes in days 30 through 60, and capability building that outlasts the engagement in days 60 through 90. After the first 90 days, the partnership continues into structural execution and capability transfer phases through month 6 to month 12, depending on the scope. Each protocol that appears in the engagement traces back to a specific audit finding. No initiative is on the list because it worked at another client. Every line item is anchored to the evidence the diagnostic gathered and the audit confirmed. A transformation partnership delivers 4 classes of outcome. The first is execution against the roadmap. Quick wins land in the boardroom inside the first quarter. Structural changes follow. By the end of the engagement, the work the diagnostic identified has either been completed or is on a defined path with internal owners running it. The second is capability that stays. The partnership transfers the methodology, the protocols, and the working patterns to the client team. The documents the consultants use during execution become the playbooks the internal team owns afterward. Internal practitioners are certified on the protocols that govern the engagement. When the consultants leave, the capability does not. The third is measurable maturity progression. The partnership produces a reassessment at the engagement close. The OMI scores from the diagnostic compared against the scores at close. The score movements are the evidence of what the engagement delivered in terms the leadership team can defend to their board. The fourth is a defined exit. The partnership ends. There is no ongoing retainer required to maintain the work. The client can continue with maturity AOS for continuous access to the framework with another consulting partner or with internal capability alone. The work goes with the client either way. A partnership fits when 3 conditions are present. The first is leadership commitment to execute, not just to assess. The partnership is implementation work. If the organization wants evidence without execution, the diagnostic alone is the better engagement. The second is genuine capability gaps that internal teams cannot close on the required timeline. If the team has the depth and the bandwidth, internal execution against the roadmap is cheaper and produces equivalent results. The partnership exists because depth and bandwidth are not always available, not because consultants are inherently better than internal teams. The third is willingness to co-deliver. The partnership does not work when the client team is unavailable or unwilling to participate. Capability transfer requires both sides in the room. If the goal is to outsource the transformation entirely, the partnership is the wrong structure. When those 3 conditions are not present, the right path is usually different. A diagnostic with internal execution, a maturity AO subscription if the team wants ongoing access to the framework without the embedded delivery, or no engagement at all if the organization is not yet ready to act on what the framework would surface. The partnership is one tier among 3. It is not the default. It is the right shape for organizations that have decided to transform, have identified what they need to transform, and need depth alongside their team to do it.